Good evening, one and all. We welcome you to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2022. On occasion of World Social Work Month, World Health Month, World Press Freedom Month 2022. Commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and also International Conference on Social Work and Sciences towards One Health and Sustainable Development 2022. In collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. So before we start our session, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
Kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada Shubham Kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada Shatru buddhi vinashaya Deepajyotir namostute Deepajyotir namostute Shubham Kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada Shubham Kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada
The blessings of Almighty. We shall continue to today's session. Today we have with us Mary Florence Freda. She is founder of Mary Florence Freda Charitable Trust, and which is helping poor cancer patients for their medications and treatment. She has 16 years of social work experience, being masters in social work, presented papers at various conferences like Roshni Nilaya, ISPSW, and DNR College, Bhimavaram, Rajgiri Institute of Social Sciences, Symbiosis Institute of Social Sciences, NIMHANS, Bangalore. And she is also a permanent member in Indian Society of Professional Social Work and other societies. And she is also an active participant and presenter in many conferences, workshops, seminars. So we welcome you, ma'am, to the wonderful session to take over on social functioning and social support of mentally challenged children. Over to you.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Actually, this is my research study in MSW. Actually, this study was done in Association for Mentally Challenged behind Kidwai Hospital, Bangalore. Actually, when I did the study, my main aim was to interview the parents who had the mental retarded children, what challenges and how their feelings were there with them having this child. So begin with the introduction of the topic. Every family looks forward to the birth of the child with great hopes and expectations. The birth of a healthy, normal child brings much joy to the entire family, whereas the birth of a handicapped child seems to shelter the dreams of the cherished dreams of desires of parents. A family member expects neither expects a handicapped baby or never likes to entertain such a thought. Therefore, to learn that one child is mentally challenged puts the family into a number of problems. Nurturing a mentally retarded child represents for all parents a journey into uncharted seas. A host of these problems beset the families, and this may vary with the degree of retardation. Thus, the associated physical, intellectual, child emotional handicaps The deviant rate of development, lack of responsiveness, excessive undesirable behavior create pressure on the family and disrupt the equilibrium of normal functioning. Mental retardation represents itself as a lifelong handicap for the child on the members of the family, places constraints of family function, and the situation becomes even worse when they come to realize that the treatment and complete cure is out of the question in the case of mental retardation. The parents and families generally react negatively to the birth of the handicapped child. The intensity and manifestation of reactions to the stressful event vary widely among the and between parents depending on the factors like individual personality, nature of handicap, mental parental aspiration, social life, and social support. In the such situation, the acceptance of the child of and handicap is self a big battle to the fight and the functioning of the society. Now I go on to describe what is mental retardation. Mental retardation, most of the confusion and misinterpretation that is associated with the form the term intelligence has has spread to the study of mental retardation. This results that the label mental retardation is frequently misunderstood not only by the general public but all too often by professionals as well. For example, it is widely assumed that once a person is diagnosed as mental retarded, the person will always be retarded. The assumption steps directly and the uh, old concept of fixed intelligence. Similarly, many people think of a retarded person as being unable to team anything at all. The assumption is based on the of intelligence. Uh, Notions of intelligence being a single global ability. Even more important, they are the occasion disagreements about who should be labeled mental retarded and who should be no important illegal issue, because whenever special programs for the mental retarded are established, the kinds of people who are entitled to these services should be clearly specified. In recent years, there have been several lawsuits. Example, Dina versus Board Education 1971, in which it has been argued that the group have been labeled retarded. What is mental retardation? Because of the legal status of mental retardation, it is important that retardation be defined clearly, reliably, and in such a way that all the people who benefit from special programming for the retarded be included, but excluding those people of whom the potential harm resulting from being so labeled out weigh the benefits. Traditional attempts to the defined mental retardation can be placed roughly into three categories based on the intelligent test scores, the definitions based on a failure of social performance, and the definitions based on the cause or essential nature of retardation, such as brain damage. What is the current consequences according to uh, American Association of Mental Deficiency? Mental retardation refers to the significantly sub-average general intellectual and functioning existing concurrently with the deficits in adaptive behavior and manifested during the development period. This definition of retardation is so generally accepted that all students of retardation ought to be familiar with it. According to this definition, in order for a person to be classified as mental retarded, three criteria must be mentioned. According to this definition, first being the significant subaverage intellectual functioning persons. This seems that the persons must score at least two standard deviation below the normal for his or her age group, or a standard of intelligence test. This means that the person IQ must be low 68 on the standard Binet, or below 70 or on one of this Vincier scale. The specific test is not mentioned because of there are cases where a specialized test such as Hales Binet for the blind must be used in order to determine an accurate IQ. Several scales have been developed to assess the social adjustment. Probably the best known of the Vineyard social maturity scale. There is a check of terms of adaptive behavior listed according to the age of which the average child is able to perform them. For example, the average child can be expected to perform the following social skills regularly between the second and third year. Asked to go through the asked to go to the toilet, removes the coat or dress, sits with eats with the fork, gets a drink unassisted, out cuts the scissors, and related experience. The following items are the 6 year level uses able to uh, use knife for cutting, use pencil for writing, baths self-assisted, goes to bed unassisted. The average of 15 to 18-year-old can be expected to be communicated by better follow current events, have his or own spending money, and buy of his own building money, or buy his or own clothes. This scale produces a social age that indicates the level at which a child is functioning. If the child is not able to perform many of the skills that most children of the age are to perform, in other words, if the child's social age is well below his chronicle age, this may be include retardation. What is a review of literature? The review of literature is a very important part of a research. Every research is based on reviewing previous and appropriate studies, books, articles, and journals. It helps to understand the current and recent studies of the research subject. This chapter is conceptualizing and familiarizing the variable by viewing various studies and research in the field of mental retardation. Mental retardation may result from a variety of physically and socially based disorders, of which manifest themselves as reduced intellectually functioning and hampered abilities to adapt the requires of everyday life. This definition was given by Robinson 1976. According to Castle 1973, this incidence of mental retardation is consistently higher in poor urban areas. The intellectual of and physical development of retarded person can be enriched through early intervention and may lead to productive life in the society. The methodology used for the study is every researcher needs a systematic and scientific research design and methodology. This helps the research study to be very scientific, unbiased, and logical. The present investigation aims to understand the social support and social functioning of mentally challenged children. The piece of work is designed to understand how far the social support helps to develop the social functioning of mentally challenged children in their day-to-day living. Aim of the study was to to study the social functioning and social support of mentally challenged children. The specific objectives is to study the socio demographic data of mentally challenged children, to study the causes of mentally challenged children, to study the social functionings of mentally challenged children, to study the availability of social support of mentally challenged children. According to the WHO report 1985, all over the world, between 3 to 5% are mentally challenged. mentally retardation across the section of society and geographical boundaries. The degree of retardation, however, fluctuates within the same socio-economic status. Being second most populous nation, India's proportionate share is very high. In one of the major large-scale studies, the prevalence of Indian children are found to be 3.27%, which is comparable to the international figure. It is generally considered that the 2% of the population constitute persons with mentally challenged. Recently, it has estimated that Indian population constitute people with mentally retardation, about 20 million people who are mentally retarded, and about 4 million are moderately and severely retarded. According to NSSO survey 1991, 31 out of 1,000 children in rural areas and 9 out of 1,000 in urban, and the development delay usually associated with mentally challenge. Every country, uh, the mentally challenged children are considered to be as a second category citizen, and many of them don't get special attention to of caring. They need support from the family, friends, and other voluntary organization for the better functioning of the children. In this context, the study is very important. It is focused on the social support to the mentally challenged and its effect his or her socially functioning. What is social support? Social support is the physical and psychological and psychological comfort provided by the one friends and family members. Social support is defined as the means by which people give assistance to each other. Social support is given by the family members, friends, and the relatives for the better functioning of mentally challenged children. Mentally challenged child. Theoretical definition is a child having significant limitations both as individual functioning and in adaptive behavior, as expressed in conceptual, social, and practical and adaptive. According to American Social Law Association of mental retardation, mentally challenged whose intellectual level is below the chronicle age and who are attending special schools in the Association of Mentally Challenged Bangalore. What is social functioning? Theoretical and operational definition: the action of which a person is or thing is particularly fitted or relating to the human society and of the organization. Social functioning as socially acceptable activities done by the mentally challenged children in favorable is another social in a particular social situation. The universe was conducted in the universe was conducted in the Association for Mentally Challenged is a multi category social training center. In the year 16 the Association for Mentally Challenged home was founded in 1962. And this institution was with served only mentally retarded children. There are 88 children and 7 teachers, and each teacher has only 15 students. It's situated in Jayanagar. The objective of this organization is provide facilities to those children. It also helps by giving special educated uh, care looked after. It provides opportunity to them for other jobs. It helps smooth life's placement. Research design: the designing is a process of deliberate anticipation directed towards bringing an accepted situation under control. Research design is a planned compromising that researchers designed regarding the procedures of sampling, data collection, and analysis of data in respect of a given study, which aims to fulfill the objectives and purposes of the study without wasteful expenditure of energy and money. The descriptive research is design is used to aims of the study. The descriptive study describing accurately the characteristics of group community of people. This study is to determine the frequency and occurrence of uh, the event. Actually, 50 samples were randomly taken from the School Association for Mentally Challenged Children in Bangalore. The inclusion criteria was both boys and girls were included in the study. Mentally challenged children who were below 18 years. All levels of mental retardation were considered for the study. Exclusive criteria was children above 18 years, children who are working in vocational training center and living independently. Tools of data collection is used to two tools of data collection: demographic schedule and individual interview schedule is used in the study. Social demographic schedule was developed by the researcher to gain information like age, occupation, religion, sex, nature of domicile, and according to the Professor Wilson and Brandkade, analysis of a data involves a number of closely related operations that are informed with the purpose of summarizing the collected data and organizing these in a manner. Analysis means resolving complex elements into simple elements. The collected data is brought into a simple form through charts and tables. It gives shapes for the collected data and it becomes very easy understanding. Interpretation means explanation of the collected data. Therefore, analysis and interpretation is uh, focused to give answer to the research questioning by using tables and other statistical. The above actually, according to the age group of respondents, the table shows and the chart shows the age of the group of respondents. The majority of the respondents come under the category of 41 to 50 years of age, and that is 42%. 20 to 28% are between the age of 51 to 60, 20% are fall under 31 to 40%, and last category of respondents are below the age of group than 4%. Religion. The above represents the above represents the religions. It shows 22 respondents are Hindus, 62 are Christians, and 16% are Muslim background, special schools for Christians. And the domicile, the above table and chart shows that 80% of the parents are from rural or semi-rural background, and the remaining 20% are from urban area. The findings of the study was the study titled Social Functioning and Social Support of Mentally Challenged Children was conducted with the term of understanding that overall social functioning of the mentally challenged children. The specific objective of the study were to study the social demographic details of mentally challenged children, to study the causes of mentally challenged children, to study the social functioning of mentally challenged children, and to the study of availability of social support uh, of mentally challenged children. The study was conducted in Association for Mentally Challenged Children, a mentally challenged school in Bangalore. In the analysis of the socio-demographic data, noted that the age group of the respondents, however, the majority, 42% of the respondents are in the age group 41 to 50 years. In terms of male or female, 80% for male and 20% for female. It showed the preponderance of the in the sample. Coming to the check of the occupation, 64% of the respondents are from agriculture background, and remaining respondents are working in private firm and government settings. Considering the type of family, most of the mentally challenged children are from nuclear family. With regard to the domicile, good majority is 80%, 80% are from urban and 20% are from a rural background. Talking to the income of mentally challenged, the researcher found that the majority come under the country category of rupees 2,000 to 3,000 only. Another factor, the researcher found that the level of education, 30% of the respondents have the qualification of secondary or below second, second highest group, 22% below the graduation level. With regard to number of children, 50% of the mentally challenged children are from the family of 2 children, and around 40% are the 3 or 4 children at home. According to the age of the mother at the time of childbirth and the other check list, which is 24%, 34% of the mothers uh, held were 10 to 15%. With regard to sex of the child, 70% of the mentally challenged are females. The main cause of the mental retardation as one of the checklists, in which 30% of the respondents have some other causes and others have consequently family history, premature birth, late marriage. Studies reveal that all these factors have more or less equally contributed to the cause of mental retardation. In the matter of physical illness of the children suffered from childhood, 28% of them have high fever, and it is a high percentage of the checklist. In the cause of first symptoms noticed, the children, 30% of them developed dullness as a first in the cause of symptom notice the problem. It terms the attitude of the parents towards the child, that 70% of the parents consider the child as a precious blessing to the family. In my conclusion, I tell that childhood is the most essential and crucial period of the healthy development of the personality of a child. In the process, the family considered to be the chief factor in determining the social, emotional, and the other development and aspects of a personality. It is the first class where the child's behavior shapes, molds, and build property. But if the child is mentally challenged, the development process becomes very slow and difficulty. Mental retardation is a disability in which children lack normal intellectual functioning and adaptive skills. It presents itself as a lifelong handicap for the child. This causes for such disability are various, and family plays a great significant role to the enhance, modify, and control their behavior and personality. Proper understanding and knowledge about the disability would definitely help the mentally challenged to function more socially and confidential in society. Therefore, they need some support through strength and help within and outside the family. Therefore, there that's the ultimate aim of developing the personality of mentally challenged children is to develop the personality in relation to the social support and social functioning, so that the limits of his or her family has a social environment. In a country like India, where we do not have any social security and systems to depend, each child has to team up to defend on himself by working and earning irrespective of disability. Parental concerns and worries about the child's future and employment in the in but natural, and when the child is generally been dependent on others. With the improving and training facilities of the mentally retarded individual, growing awareness about the capabilities of mentally retarded and the acceptance in the society, it is being more and more possible by the mentally challenged children to work and earn a living. It also provides an opportunity to the mentally challenged children to interact with others and to socialize. They develop a sense of self-worth and usefulness in society. The data collected for the study of the social functioning and social support of mentally challenged reveal that there is an improvement in the social functioning of the social challenge due to various social system. uh, it shows that in society the children have a changed outlook and increased concern of their development and functioning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam, for the detailed presentation. You had PPT, na? You did not present any issue?
No, sir, I'm not. The PPT is very small, so I just read it out.
Okay. Otherwise, also it's very fine. Participants, if you have any queries, you can unmute yourself or you can raise your hand or you can share your comments, observations, queries, clarifications in chat box. Feel free to discuss on this topic. This is very important, disabilities. There are no queries, then it was very well presented. No? I think everyone understood it very clearly, so no queries from any participants. There is appreciation in chat box. Nice presentation. Okay, if there are no queries, then yeah, Nagaraj, can unmute yourself.
Uh, am I audible now?
Yeah, yes, sir. No. Please continue.
Yeah. Good evening, Mary. Your presentation was very excellent. I'm so happy to listen to the topic on mental health. So, can you kindly stress on national mental health policy, if any idea is there about it?
No, actually, I have not mentioned natural health, mental health policy. I've only focused on mental retardation and
Okay.
how the families taking care of this mental retardation, how their feelings are, whether it is burden. This is my synopsis for my PhD this year.
Okay. Okay. Regarding mental retardation only, I would like to ask you how families needs to take care of the children who are having mental
They
illness.
have to give extra care, extra support, and they have to, according to National Open School, now if they are not in the severe or moderate category, they can live in National Open School, and they can educate them at up to master's level, because in spastic society there is my friend, my madam child, who's studying national open school, and she's finished a master's in the psychology with the mild retardation. Hi, Nagraj.
Hi. So nice presentation, Mary. Super. Thank you very much for the excellent presentation.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, if there are no queries, then we shall conclude. Uh, Thank you very much for giving a wonderful presentation, and we congratulate you and wish you all the success. And we, on behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing, and also on behalf of all the participants. And dear participants, kindly fill up the feedback form raised in the form of polls. Do not move away from the Zoom app or platform. Do not close any pop-up windows. Yeah, we have launched the feedback form. Kindly fill up the feedback form. We will have 5 minutes. So everyone quickly fill up the feedback form. It is mandatory to receive certificate, and certificate will be issued within 15 working days. You can check the website and respective page for the webinar, that is date. You can select the respective date, and from there you can find the Google Drive link from which you can download your certificate after 15 working days. That is the maximum time. You can check it after 1 week or so. Maximum time is 2 weeks. So kindly fill up the feedback form so that you can receive your certificate. And this Sunday, we have a wonderful webinar on animal welfare, biological diversity. So kindly do join us on daily sessions from 6 to 8, and also on Sundays 11 to 5. Feedback form is raised in the form of polls. If you can't find, do not close the feedback form window before submitting. If it is closed, it cannot be opened again. In the more options in the Zoom, you can find polls. When you click on the polls, there will be a window. If you have accidentally closed it, you have accidentally closed it, you can also try from there. Everyone quickly fill up the feedback form. If you have any issues seeing that, you can update your Zoom platform. Zoom app, you can update it and try. Dear participants, quickly fill up the feedback form. We are closing it in few minutes.